Okay, we will now move on to, as you can see that we do not have a quorum, but we are going to do item number 11 for public comment. This is just to talk about the issue. So let me go ahead and bring what this item is about. And in fact, I'm going to let Mr. Ramirez go ahead and bring this forward for renaming the soccer field at the Max Foster complex for Odi Ortize.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor and Council and esteemed public, of course, this item is dear to a lot of us here, and the Chief will present the item. Please, Chief.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor, members of Council, members of the public. Basically, this thought came up because we've got a really great sports complex at the Foster Sports Complex, and we've got some great youth that play on this at the soccer field out there at the sports complex. And we've had I got hired in 2012. In 2011, I met Odi Ortize, who was our finance director here. Long name is Odi Ortize, but when I first heard the name of Odi, I thought it was kind of unique. But Odi worked here for 8 dedicated years, giving his all in all to the city, not only as a finance director, but he was also the acting public works director and also the acting city manager for years here. And he dedicated his life to the community of Livingston. He dedicated his life to serving the youth here. He was an avid soccer player, and he supported youth activities here, especially those involving soccer at the soccer field. And you know, the city manager and I thought it'd be appropriate to honor his commitment to our city by recognizing his service and naming our soccer field over there in his memory. So basically calling it the Odi Ortize Memorial Soccer Field. And so I think it'd be an honor. I especially would love to honor his family. He's you know, his widow and 3 children who I met. I think they'd be honored to see his father recognized in this manner. And so I'd like to invite Ana Alberto to come up, who knows Odi very well in the soccer world.
Of course.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ana Alberto. A lot of you guys see me around. I help and I support a lot of the soccer sports. I'm very involved with soccer, and as you guys see, I have a lot of my kids here because we heard about, you know, what they were going to honor Odi with. And our little background with Odi is we started soccer and we were jumping basically from place to place. We didn't have where to play. Odi is the one that opened our doors to the city. Because of Odi, now we have a lot of access to a lot of things for these kids at, you know, no cost. It's just, he did a lot for us. Odi is the one that, there's a cup in the city that we brought back, I don't know, 2-3 years ago, and he's the one that helped us with that too. I had the honor to meet with him and speak with him, but one of our conversations that we had, and I won't forget, he said, it was very hard to get out there, knock on doors and have people to sponsor you because they don't know you. And, you know, people say things, or he always believed in us, always believed in me. And one thing he said, Anna, remember this. And he said, there's always going to be doors that are going to shut on your face, but there's always going to be another door open for those who have a good heart on doing things. And I think that's what I believe on Odi. His door just opened to another path. He's in a good place. He's always remembered. And we as a club know, and all our parents know, that he started that access for us, and we're very thankful. And for us, it's amazing that you guys as a city are recognizing all he did for our community and our kids, because we started with 3 teams, And right now we have 9, over 100, 130 kids. You know, Livingston's getting out there, recognized, winning tournaments, winning all these awards. And it's not about winning, it's about developing and being united. So our club, we do have an official club called, our name is now Livingston United FC. And like I said, that little seed that Odi put in us has made us where we're at right now. So thank you.
Yeah, just to finish the story, Odi was diagnosed with lymphoma, and he battled it for a long time. Very, very long illness. He started to recover, and it ultimately took his life. And so it was, I think it was February that he lost his battle with cancer. So I think it'd be very appropriate to name that field in his honor, and have the youth that play in that field for years to come to know who Odi was and what he meant to our youth and to the sport of soccer. So,
okay, thank you, Chief. Now I'm going to go ahead and hand over to Mr. Ramirez. Now, Mr. Ramirez and Odi go way back. If anybody can tell you a lot of things about Odi and working relationship and how wonderful that guy was Jose can. So, Jose?
Yes, Mr. Mayor and esteemed public. Yeah, Mr. Ortiz, I had the great fortune of actually meeting him in college. We didn't know that we were going to actually work together, but but we did go to college together, and we both graduated. He went on his own, and I went on in my own direction, and it was interesting that he actually got into, working for a city government. I had to actually started before he had, and we actually began working together in the municipality where I was at before I came to Livingston, which was the city of Fireball. And then we had the great fortune of actually bringing him on board and working. He started here right after, in October of 2011, started working for the city of Livingston. Yeah, Mr. Ortiz is definitely an individual, as was eloquently stated, with a big heart, very hardworking individual. I had to kick him out of the office and go home. He very intelligent in many aspects, very humble, and he leaves behind 3 beautiful children and his wife, who of course miss him dearly. And so I think that a gesture of this magnitude would certainly honor him and his family, and make sure that we don't forget an individual that had such a big heart and that was working so hard and diligently for so many years for this community. So with that, Mayor, I thank you again, and I thank the public for coming out and supporting this effort.
Thank you, Mr. Aguilar.
Just real quick, I think this is very appropriate. Like everybody has mentioned, Odi was, a great person, very dedicated to the community of Livingston. He was very instrumental in developing me as a council member, and many meeting with him and talking to him, and like Jose said, he's a very humble person and very intelligent, and he loved what he did, and he loved being committed to the city. So yeah, I'm very happy that you brought this up, and it'll be something that his kids come and see, and his wife as well.
Thank you, Mr. Aguilar. And for me, I worked with Odi ever since he was with the city, and for a little while he did job of the city manager, finance director, and public works. Talk about the guy, like Flash, going from one place to another. And it would be 8 o'clock at night, I have to come back and say, Odi, go home. And the guy, he was dedicated like you wouldn't believe. Not only to, and then as busy as he was, when somebody from the city came out, he always made time and made you feel like you were the most important person there at that moment. He made sure of that. This is how dedicated Odi was. And I can't think of anything better, and I wish we could do more, but than to name a soccer field after Odi. He was the most wonderful guy you can get. And do we have any other comments from anybody? Supervisor?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I also want to thank you, Jose, the Chief of Police, and the council for honoring Odi with this naming of the park after his name. Of course, he was our acting city manager when I was mayor here and when I was gone, and he always gave 100%, and also for the community. He didn't live here, but he loved this community, and you see the fruitful. He helped everybody. It didn't matter who it was, and I want to thank you for being able to recognize Odi. And it's sad. He was a wonderful person, and just like I said, like you're all saying, he worked more than enough. The city was going through issues with water problems with the state during the drought, and he went through all. He was never officially a city manager, but I think he did better than a lot of city managers out there in California. And when he was here, he did more than enough for this community. So thank you very much. So we'll miss Ori.
Thank you, Supervisor. Yeah. Is there anybody else wish to come forward regarding naming of the soccer field? If not, then as you can see, we are one council member short of a quorum, but we wanted to make sure that everybody had the opportunity to speak. This item, and I will strongly support, and I think I can speak on behalf of the entire community here, it'll be on our second July meeting to formally name the soccer field after Mr. Ortiz. So I hope that, we hate to make you come back, but I hope everybody can find time to come back at our second meeting for the official naming. Thank you. And